Binance limited the maximum leverage on the crypto futures trading. And starting July 19, which is 1 week ago, users can only trade with 20 times leverage, while before they could go as high as 125 times. In addition to that, on August 10, Binance gonna stop crypto margin trading involving the British pound, euro, and Australian dollar. So it sounds like a bombshell to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm reading this and I'm like, is there no more recklessness in crypto? You can't just go on Binance and trade with a crazy leverage of 100 or 125 and then make memes about you losing all your money and all this. Twitter chatter machine, it's like an epoch is over and the world will never be the same place again. And it's funny that CZ apparently understands how impactful this is to the entire brand of Binance, which has been known as a fairly reckless place in crypto. So he tweeted about this leverage limiting 1 week after it was enforced, explaining that Binance didn't want to make this a thingy. While apparently it is a thingy, and I wonder what do you guys make out of it?
Yeah, I'll say
what
it really
do you
quick.
think, Will?
Yeah, interesting timing. So I think CZ and Sam were on Up Only, which is another crypto TV show, about a month or 2 months ago. Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried. And so they talked about this very topic, why do you allow such high leverage on your exchanges? And they both said, well, nobody uses it, so might as well use it as a marketing gimmick. If you want crypto traders who are typically extremely aggressive people who are kind of not very cautious with their money, advertise to them by showing that you can do up to 100, 125x leverage. And it doesn't really hurt anybody because nobody ever uses it. Of course, that's not what it looks like to regulators and other people out there. If they're looking at this and saying, oh, you offer 100x leverage? Well, why would I want my citizens to use your exchange? And I'm going to geo-block you. So I think that's interesting. The about face comes up around the same time we're seeing a lot of regulation roll around the world, including to Binance.
Yeah, I want to note that CZ used to talk about it, about, a pretty offenseless thing, you don't have to use the sharpest knife, you see. And he used to say that, users have been asking for it. So we give them what they want, and what they do with it, it's totally up to them. But now it looks like it's not completely up to them. It's also up to Binance.
Yeah, just off the back of what you were saying, Anna, I think the recklessness in crypto is slowly but surely fading away. It may pop up in a different form, but I think as regulators start to put pressure on each other and start to understand, or maybe not understand even further what's going on in the industry, I think that recklessness is something that's behind us. I mean, if you look at CZ and SBF, they don't want to be shut down. They don't want to be tied up in court cases and paying tens of millions of dollars in settlements, because that really hinders their business. And I'm sure that they have incredible milestones to reach as they move forward. So recklessness, I think we're going to see it in another way, or maybe it's just going to be a thing of the past. But Ben, I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, it does really feel like kind of a regulatory shotgun approach in this regard. They're going after a lot of different people. I think obviously this is ecosystem maturation in some ways in terms of lowering these limits. And I think, we've talked about institutional investors, for example, and kind of clients saying, okay, we're going to offer some form of crypto. It's because that's what their customer base wants. And I think if there is a relatively small number of people using this isn't actually going to hurt these exchanges very much beyond just the perception of them, right? Which is also very much so a part of this game when it comes to regulators. And we've seen, stock tokens be delisted in some ways. We're seeing some DeFi apps start to limit some options. We're seeing, regulators start to look at BlockFi. And so it really feels like there's just kind of this roiling storm right now that is going to be interesting to see where it comes to a head. But we're seeing, people act in their own self-interest. And I think that is definitely something that's going to continue to maintain here, particularly as regulators start to look more and more at all of these different entities in the crypto world writ large.